And Dave's behind the camera with the NC Beer guys. Welcome to another episode of the NC Beer Buzz. We are continuing our trip today around the far western reaches of North Carolina, making sure that you know there's more about craft beer in the mountains than just in Asheville. Asheville's got great beer, as I've said, but when you're in Asheville, take the time to go over some mountains or across the valleys or somewhere and find your way to the other great craft brew scenes that are outside of Asheville. We found our way this afternoon to Andrews Brewing Company in Andrews, North Carolina, which is also the winery
Calaboose Cellars.
Calaboose Cellars, and one of the few locations that does both craft beer and craft wine. You call it craft wine?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, why not?
Why not?
Idea.
Craft wine, it's local wine anyway. The grapevines are behind us, and we're going to talk both. This is Eric Carlson, he's the owner and brewmaster here. He and his wife Judy are the owners and founders. They do great things here and kind of on a small scale, but you're going to hear more about them, and we've got some expansion plans coming. Thanks for having us so much.
As we like to say, welcome to Western North Carolina.
We are really in Western North Carolina. We had to come over the mountain from Franklin to get here.
2 hours west of Asheville.
Believe, we really found our way to Western North Carolina.
If anybody wants to come out here, it's not 2 hours. It's actually like 20 minutes west of Asheville.
Right.
Just keep on driving.
Just keep on coming. It'll be worth the drive when you get here. So you've been out here for how long, and what's your background?
Well, we moved here from New Hampshire.
Okay.
My background is we build websites, actually.
Did you brew? Home brewer? That's how
sure.
got you into the...
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then we started the winery, it'll be 10 years ago next summer, so 9 years ago.
So the wine came first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I said to my wife one December, you know, we really need to also open a brewery. And she started crying. And then
because she'd already been to the winery.
It was crying like, oh my God, no. It wasn't crying like, what a great idea.
So excited.
And so, but we did, and we never turned back. It's fantastic. Making beer is, you know, just, I got to tell you, making beer is so much more enjoyable than making wine. First of all, making wine, you do it once a year.
And it's a long, drawn-out process.
Yeah, once a year. And the wine just sits there for, you know, 51 weeks.
It's not much fun to watch. I mean, there's nothing to watch going on.
Of course, making beer is an experience that you can pour your, energy and passion
right
into,
on top of it too.
Changing things every week.
Yeah.
So, but there's only three of us, us being wineries who are also breweries in the state, I think. Oh, I hope that's
3 or 4. It's not often done anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. Trying to think of which ones they are. West Bend.
Okay.
And then Round Peak is the winery, and Skull Camp is the brewery, but they're the same ownership.
Same ownership. Not on the same location, or are they?
I think the brewery just moved, but they were in the same location.
Right.
But anyways, it's a natural for us. I mean, I hate to make broad brush statements, but a couple will be on vacation or something, they'll come in, and the wife, this is the broad brush statement, the wife will say, I'm here to taste your wine, and the husband will say, you're a brewery?
I came for the beer.
That's fantastic.
Or it happens the other way around, of course. You draw some people in that just know the Andrews Brew for the beer, and then they happen to find out that whoever doesn't like the beer can drink the wine.
So it's not hard to open up a distillery in North Carolina, right?
Well, no, I think it is pretty hard. But
wouldn't that be the next thing to do?
If you want to be a winery and a brewery and a distillery,
it'll be the alcohol mall.
I don't know if you want all them challenges. Yeah. There's a whole lot of controls over distilleries.
Is there really? It can't be that hard. We're here in the mountains. Everybody does it.
Oh, okay. Well, if we want to do it legally, I was referencing doing it legally. If you want to go in the back shed and put your
Are you ready for this now?
Yeah. Dave's beer was being used as a prop, but it's getting warm in the sunshine. So he gets to make one of his rare appearances in front of the camera. He's always here behind us, working, supporting us. So, why Andrews? You were from New Hampshire.
Oh, man, yeah.
How did you wind up here?
Yeah, you're asking questions with a long story. I'll try to shorten it up. My brother lived in Big Canoe, Georgia. Judy's brother lived in Columbia, South Carolina. We didn't want to be too close to either. Didn't want to be too far away from either. And so, literally, we looked at a map and started looking around, then started looking at property, and here we are. We moved here to retire.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm terrible at that.
You blew that retirement, right? Right. And what was on the property when you first came? Just the building?
Oh, no. Yeah, the building was here. Yeah, this is the town's first jail, by the way. I don't know if you can get a neat shot of it, but it's the town's. It was the building that was used as the town's first jail, and all the old timers call it the Calaboose, which is an old-fashioned term for a little tiny rock jailhouse.
Right.
Smallest winery in the country. 300 square feet. And we were brewing in that side deck, which is, I guess I'll call it 250 square feet for 2 years, 250 square feet for 2 years.
Right.
Obviously, we don't have a 12-barrel system.
Now, what is the production on both sides?
Winery, about 700 cases a year.
Okay.
And again, we pick the grapes once a year, obviously.
And a case of beer, I mean, a case of wine
12
is
bottles.
12 bottles,
Yeah.
12 regular sized bottles.
And a brewery about 250 barrels a year.
Okay.
So.
And are you packaging? I know you're obviously packaging wine because we saw some bottles. Is your product available outside of this location in some local stores? Or?
Not many. There's a wine shop in Bryson that handles it.
It carries it.
Yeah, but that's one. And our beer is, we sell it wholesale to restaurants from Murphy to Waynesville.
So some accounts.
Yeah.
But that's not the vision. The vision is to do what you enjoy doing here, and for people to come here and enjoy your product.
That's the whole idea, yeah, exactly. And grow profitably. In other words, Judy and I have sunk some money in, but that's it. Whatever happens to the business is what's going to happen to the business.
Right.
It doesn't matter to us because we're having fun as it is right now.
Well, and as you said, you did come to retire, so you kind of had a life in some senses, and if this wasn't fun, and maybe paying for itself at least, at least it's not dragging you down.
Yeah,
so
we're enjoying it. We really are. It's a blast. I mean, everything about it is fun. The fact that we don't go on vacations doesn't bother us, because...
Well, kind of the vacation kind of comes to you.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of people on vacation do find you for whatever reason. And how do they find you? How do people know about you?
Well, did you guys have a hard time finding us today?
Not finding you today, because in fact Dave had been before, so he kind of knew where he was coming.
Well,
but we pay attention to the beer scene. The casual beer drinker, how do they know that Andrews even exists?
Well, we have a crack marketing department that's supposed to take care of those kind of things.
Which is you.
Which is me.
In your spare hours.
You
must have a stellar website if you know website.
It's not that good.
It's not that good
because
it's like develops websites for a living, but
it's the plumber's. It's the plumber's faucet that leaks.
Right. I never have time to update your own website. Right. Right.
But. When people do arrive here, we are off the beaten path. There's no doubt about that, even though we're a block from Main Street. But people arrive here and said, well, we're glad we found you. That's a common thing we hear.
Right.
So are we. We're glad that they found us too. So
now, in addition to this property and this location, in recent years, you have had some expansion plans, and you bought a facility downtown, right on Main Street or right off of Main Street.
That's right.
And it was the old grocery store.
A&P. Yeah.
Old A&P.
It's a 9,000 square foot
Atlantic
building.
and Pacific, for you guys who don't know what A&P is, and they're all over the South. Atlantic. Do you know in New York did they have A&Ps? Okay,
Good
you knew
job
A&Ps
with
too.
that. Atlantic and
I didn't know. We knew A&Ps. So is that all the production now for the beer now? Is that done over there?
Yeah.
Yes. And eventually, will that be more, or just more production? Will there be a tap facility over there, or what?
We'd like to. We'd like to, as we can afford it. We'd like to build the place out and have it be a tap room and open to the public. But we had to rent a building anyway, and so we were looking around to rent a building in town, which costs X money a month. And we stumbled across this fantastic 9,000 square foot building right on Main Street, which the payment isn't much more than X. Hundreds of dollars per month. And so from our perspective at this point, it's like, wow, okay, now we're 9,000 square feet, we're comfortable.
And after doing with 500 square feet or
230, 250.
Right, whatever you had. I mean,
we're rattling around in there. We got 2 cats, to kill all the mice and rats.
Right.
And it was a grocery store, so it had drains in the floor.
Yeah, so it kind of was starting to meet needs from the get-go.
The fermentation room is the old, where they hung the sides of beef.
The butcher storage, whatever, right?
And
the meat locker.
Meat locker, that's it.
That's the right term, I think, meat locker.
And so, we're tickled just to have the space.
But you're not moving at a warp speed on that either. That's you're kind of doing that as you can and as you desire.
But it is smack dab, in the middle of downtown.
Now, do you
about 2 blocks over from Hoppy Trout.
Right. And do you foresee moving your retail operations totally there one day instead of here?
No, we'll keep this. We have too much in it.
This will always be kind of the heart.
Yeah, that might be the brewery open to the public, and this is the winery open to the public, and we would sell beer and wine at both places.
Right.
But we'll never give this up. It's, swing your camera on. I mean, it's just beautiful here. And it's a gorgeous place to come around.
We're going to get out of our little comfort zone a little bit. I know, I'll say, nothing about wine. I see grapevines. Is all your wine your own grapes?
We have a 3-acre vineyard over this mountain. Leatherwood, another sort of, the thing about our beers is we name all our beers around something local, and we have a Leatherwood Red. So on the other side of Leatherwood Mountain is our 3-acre vineyard, This is our experimental vineyard where we try new varieties, and we've probably replanted it, I'd say 4 times. Back to your question, there's a vineyard just on the other side of town that grows catawba that we buy from. But other than that, it's all our own grapes.
So it's at least all local grapes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's not all your own hand grapes.
Yeah. And I don't know how much you want me to get into the wine side, but we're in an AVA out here, American Viticultural Area. There's 4 in the state of North Carolina. And this is called the Upper Hiwassee Highlands, and I'm the fellow who submitted the petition to the federal government to create this one.
Well, go ahead. What does that mean?
Well, an American Viticultural Area is a geographical distinction.
Like I know about
like
champagne grapes in France to make champagne.
Yadkin.
Okay.
Yadkin Valley, Haw River, and there's another one.
There are places designated
as a wine grape growing
region. If you're going to call yourself a grape from that area, it has to be grown in that area.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that.
And this is the first one in Georgia too. It goes into Georgia, 2 counties in North Carolina, 2 counties in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of a neat thing for any of your, wine enthusiast listeners. There's some really good wine being made out here.
Good. And we'll pay attention to you NC wine guys. We're doing your work here. We understand you've been here before, but I don't know if you did a video or not.
They didn't do a video.
NC wine guys. So at one point, will they ever be separate entities for you? I mean, your heart's in both. You got a foot in both worlds.
Well, the separation of entity would be, when the 2 physical locations, sort of become.
And one or the other may become more wine, and that may be more beer in some senses, or.
I mean, don't publish this video on any wine sites, but I'm like all about the beer. I mean, that's all I focus on.
Well, you said that's what
beer.
You're more fun for you.
Yeah, it is more fun. We picked grapes yesterday, and we're just entering the grape picking season, which is exciting.
Sure. Well, when there's something to do, it's fun.
Yeah.
Except just watch it, whatever it's doing.
Watching in a tank.
Right.
So,
Good.
Anyways, it's cool.
That's
really
great.
love the wine thing.
It's so unique. That's wonderful. So we'll remind our viewers again, when you come out, western part of North Carolina, and on your beer vacations, do more than hit Boone or Asheville or some of the bigger places. Make sure you hit the little towns that are such a part of North Carolina and the culture. If you want to know North Carolina, you got to get outside of Asheville and Boone and the so-called mountain cities. Find your little places like Andrews and Franklin and wherever else you want to go. And check out guys who are giving back to the community, who are here doing new and different wonderful things, but also building on the tradition and cultures that we've always had in North Carolina of entrepreneurship and farm to fork and farm to pint glass. Next time you're in Andrews, make sure you check out the Andrews Brewing Company and say hey to Eric and Judy. Until next time, this is Dave and Glenn, the NC Beer Guys, remind you to drink local beer or wine and keep your beer or wine dollars in North Carolina.